Hey guys, it's me Dragon. So today's video I want to do for who should you pull for 2.1, and this time only 3 characters, so between Phoebe, Changli and Brant. But take notes for Brant, I will not really cover super deep because of course we don't really have the full access yet, so we only can get from the trial, so because of that it might be not the best or the super complete one. Also our cover like should you pull for their resonance chain or signature weapon. So yeah, let's get started. And now let's start first with the brand new character, which is Phoebe. So yeah, Phoebe took me a while for me to solidify my thoughts. So yeah, the first positive of her is that I feel she is a good hybrid character, meaning that she is a strong DPS in Spectro, also in the same time have some support capabilities. So this type of character actually feels like quite good value, where you can have like switch role, like if I want to make her as a DPS can, if you want to make her as a like a player for Spectro Frazzle also can. So yeah, that's good and quite handy. Second, she is relatively good in AoE content, so whatever related with AoE stuff, she did pretty much a good job because her like literally light covered quite big, so that's actually nice. Third, she is relatively accessible in terms of team building because literally the best team with her is the Spectre Rover, and that's literally the meta. If you already have like Spectre Rover, the other like literally character is much flexible. You want to put Sanhua, Shorekeeper, Fairy in our other like variation like Mortify, something like that, it's also already good enough though. And also regarding the weapon choice or selection, she has a lot of wide range of weapon selection. You can equip the brand new like even the Rectifier, you can just put like Yinin weapon, it's actually very good. You can check the comparison in here that I made, it's even very close. Even Jojo also still that bad, so because of that it's relatively very easy in terms of building for her. Next, exploration, she makes even better. Right now like our exploration already good enough, right, especially because the wing, but right now with Phoebe it's even better because if you just want a short range of travel, Phoebe like literally flying is actually very convenient, and I can say it just make even my like experience in exploration even better. As for the negative and some things to note, first is that I want to talk about her major downside, which is she is very dependent in the Spectral Frazzle. Literally without Spectral Frazzle, it doesn't mean that she cannot clear, she still can clear. I even put like team that doesn't have any Spectral Frazzle, you can still clear it, but the problem is that the moment you kind of pair with Spectral Frazzle, you can feel so much like noticeable difference. You feel like so much gap until come to the point like I don't want to play like Phoebe team without Spectral Frazzle, and because of that it makes sometimes a little bit limited in terms of team building, just because right now the one that can apply Spectral Frazzle only Spectre Rover. And the continuation in here is that it will make your solo experience, if you want to do solo run, might be not the best because she's very dependent with this Frazzle. So because of that, it can be good too if you like more challenge. Next, regarding like her kit, right now it's not fully utilized just because her support role as a like Spectre Frazzle like applier something that's still not utilized because we don't have any like character that really need that. You can pair technically with Spectre Rover and make like Spectre Rover as a main DPS, but people still tend to play like Phoebe as a main DPS because of course maybe because like new character. So as for right now, her kit is not fully utilized, but I quite believe in the future we will have like a main DPS that full in the Spectro that need like Spectro Frazzle, and I think where Phoebe this will shine, that yeah, she will become the sub DPS or support in here. And regarding her performance in the Whimpering Waves, because I hear some people say like Phoebe is not really great on like Whimpering Waves, I want to clarify that part. In general, I can say she actually performed really good in Whimpering Waves because of course she can deal AoE. The problem is that if you watch again, maybe some people do the run, the problem is on Spectral Frazzle itself, which is you cannot consistently apply on every enemy that like pop out because the enemy is very squishy in Whimpering Waves. You cannot literally apply very fast, especially with Spectral Rover, it's not really super that fast applying it. So yeah, mostly the problem, it's not Phoebe that make the performance bad in Whimpering Waves, but it's mostly like her teammate is not really have like a solid one in terms of Whimpering Waves content. Maybe in the future if we have like coordinate attack that apply like a Spectre Frazzle, and I think this is where we'll make Phoebe shine even more in the Whimpering Waves, and I think she will jump literally from just decent to become very good. But in the end, I still have my recommendation for you to pull for Phoebe. First, if you need a hybrid DPS, especially need Spectro that also can cover some like support stuff, this is not maybe for right now for the support, but maybe in the future, if you already think like for future character that maybe Spectral, I will believe it will come. It just like matter we don't know who. But yeah, if you want like this type of hybrid character, and especially if you want to expand your team in the Spectre or something like that, then I think Phoebe will be a good choice because she can basically become DPS and literally support. Next, if you need someone that will coverage in AoE content, and Phoebe relatively good. Next, if you have Spectre over build, you already have like well built, maybe because you know starter character, right? You already like built, and yeah, I think pulling Phoebe can be a good addition. Next, if you want to have like accessible meta team and including have a solid wide range of weapon selection, and I think Phoebe will be one of the character of your choice just because her teammates is literally very accessible. Spectre over and that's it. You can just put Sanwa even. Yeah, all of those two characters is free and yeah, very accessible, right? Next, maybe if you want to improve your exploration from already good become super good, I think Phoebe can be a nice addition too if you like exploration. And lastly, of course, if you like the character gameplay, feel free to pull for her. For Phoebe, should you pull for the signature weapon or the resonant chain? And for me, in general, I recommend for you to pull for the weapon just because it, of course, it's 100%, and especially if you only have like the free-to-play option, the 4-star one, or even the standard 5-star, it's better for you to pull for the signature. It will give you more than S1. However, if you have the Yin weapon or String Master, then in the end it's just really up to you which one you prefer more, S1 or the weapon. I think they are both have the same value, but take notes, weapon 100%, this one you will have to deal with 50-50, but yeah, that gives you a reminder. So in general, S1 still pretty much good, but it's just like very straightforward, just increase multiplier. Actually S2 the same, but S2 is more significant and it's actually already better than signature weapon, but of course you need to pull more, so yeah, just take notes in that. Next character is Changli. So Changli in general is pretty much a good hybrid character in Fusion. She will basically very reliable in terms of any Fusion content. She can become like DPS, sub DPS or support type, something like that. So yeah, very good for the multi-purpose character in Fusion stuff. Second is fast-paced gameplay. And for me, as a game that mostly about like stylish and fast-paced action game, something like that, having a character that fast-paced I think is satisfying and enjoyable, especially for the type people like me that really enjoy action combat, that stylish something like that. I think Changli is one of the characters that very well fit in the Wuthering Wave. Next, she is relatively versatile in terms of team building. You can pair with her with basically anything, with Sanhua, you can pair even with Yinlin, you can even pair with even Phoebe is actually can work if you have no choice. And yeah, she can basically pair with a lot of different characters, even of course like between Fusion like Anchor and Cheshire. Yeah, relatively flexible in terms of team building with her, just because she has like this buffing capability, like buffing resonance liberation, also very good. Next, also in terms of weapon, pretty much accessible. Basically the standard 5-star sword is one of the best weapon for her, and the difference between her signature is not even that much difference, it's quite close. And because of that, if you already have maybe that weapon, then it's very good for Changli. She's one of the best candidates for you to equip aside also Sanhua. As for negative or things to note regarding Changli is that I think this is the major complaint from some people, which is maybe it's too technical or too difficult to play for some player, because she's a typical character that you cannot just play like normally, like just follow rotation, let's say like Jinxie, right? Just do outro and then skill, just click, that's it, right? But for Changli, you need to swap quite fast. You don't necessarily need to cancel, but you need to swap a lot in here, and you need to kinda a little bit quite fast in terms of hand. So yeah, because of that, yeah, she is maybe a little bit too technical for some people, but of course if you're already getting used to it, it's not really that much problem. As for the Whimpering Waves, I want to say regarding Changli, maybe she's not really popular right now in Whimpering Waves. I think she has quite similar problem also like Phoebe, where she doesn't really have any teammates that can support in AoE content. And most of the case right now, I think Brant will be the solution in here. So maybe we can see in the future how Changli with Brant in the Whimpering Waves. As for my recommendation for you to pull for the Changli is that first, if you need a hybrid character that can work both as a DPS and support, especially in the Fusion team, then yeah, Changli will be one of the character that I recommend. Especially this is the continuation. If you want to have a good pair for most of the Fusion character, let's say you main Anchor or maybe Cheshire or even future character like Brant, Changli always become a very good partner because she's just so universal in any like fusion like team that you want to build. So yeah, maybe if you really fan most in the fusion team, really want to have enjoy Brand, maybe you're really waiting for him, want a good like partner, then Changli for sure will be one of them. Next, if you really enjoy a fast-paced gameplay or you enjoying like quick swap playstyle, then I recommend Changli. I think Changli is one of the characters that feel very nice to play in the like quick swap style, and I think feel like very suitable or very fit compared to like other characters so far. So because of that, if you enjoy like this typical fast-paced or either quick swap, then you can consider to pull for Changli. Like if you ask my personal opinion, I really enjoy Changli gameplay the most among all other characters. And lastly, of course, if you enjoy the character gameplay, feel free to pull for her. As for Changli, should you pull for the Resonance Chain or the signature weapon? Then for me, just go for the Resonance Chain, just because her weapon is just too close with the standard 5-star sword. So because of that, pulling her Resonance Chain is much better. Although yeah, you still need to deal with the 50-50. And S1 is pretty much nice, still increase the DPS in general from the skill damage increase 10%. Not that much, but I think the resistant interruption also good stuff. And S2 also nice because give you crit rate. In the end, I just recommend to just go with the Resonance Chain all the way. The last character is Brant. Take notes, this is only judgment for him when I use the trial, so I of course don't know what it will exactly when the final release. So yeah, take note, this is not the full judgment. So yeah, let's start with the positive. The first positive when I see his kid, that he is all-rounder character, meaning he can do sustain, heal and shield, damage, and support, meaning that he can buff. Specifically is giving fusion and resonance skill amplified, which is good though. This type of character is not that much. So far, the one I can remember is Jinsin. No, Jinsi, okay, Jinsin, the arrow girl. So yeah, Brand is probably the second one. So because of that, yeah, I think it's quite good breeder that we only know always like about like DPS, but something that kind of like can all-rounder covering about everything. So that things are good stuff. Second, the moment when I try to play Brand, I know that this type of character is really good for you to do a stylish run. His kit is so easy to make it look so good, even you just smash any random button, because it's just so stylish. So yeah, maybe if you really like to do a stylish run like solo, something like that, to do showcase like very cinematic, I think you will like this type of character. He really good. I think he's and Changli have this kind of potential to make the gameplay look stylish. Third, he's pretty good at AoE, which is good, especially right now we have Whimpering Waves, right? And I think Brand in there will be pretty good because when you do the mid-air attack, he will kinda spin, so that alone already quite big coverage. So yeah, I think it will be good for like Whimpering Waves stuff. As for his negative and some things to note is that first, I think min-maxing his stat can be quite difficult, or at least you need some time, because he need literally 280% of ER or energy regen, and it will make it worse if you only equip crit weapon. So yeah, you probably need energy regen weapon, and so far the one that only available is 4-star is the Overture. Not really sure about his signature because I will not confirm anything and not confirm, like maybe Kuro can troll us, right? So yeah, because of that, without like any energy regen weapon, I think min-maxing of him can be hard, especially you want your Brand deal more damage, meaning you need crit, you need energy regen, which is can be hard in Echo. This is not super like big issue, it's just matter of time for you to get until you get the min-maxing one. And second, I think the annoying part from Brand is that he is easily to getting interrupted. So if you hope that you can unga bunga playing Brand, you cannot. So I'm not really sure if his passive already activate or not, because so far in the trial it feels like his passive is not even active. When I do mid jump like combo, something like that, it's very easy to getting interrupted. So yeah, I assume it's not activate, but if it's already activated, it's still pretty much so fragile as like character though. Like Changli, of course he is fragile, but the problem like Changli combo is so fast, Brand is quite long, so it's quite annoying if it's interrupted. But luckily you can still dodge and the combo is not broken, you can still continue. That's a good part. So yeah, at the worst you just need to learn how to dodge. But yeah, of course if you kinda hope that he can be unga bunga, then sadly no, he quite easily to getting interrupted. And third, this is not a negative, this is mostly like things to note or give you a reminder that before you kinda disappoint, that I say Brand is not main DPS, okay? I know some of people want to make him like main DPS, sure you can still do, but again, it will be not amazing. it's fine. I think it still can work, but it will not amazing. So don't say like, yeah, why Brant damage will not as high as Jinxie? Absolutely no. He's all-rounder, I would say. If he's all-rounder and deal damage like Jinxie, that's already broken OP. And that's not fair. All-rounder usually they're good at everything, but nothing the best. So yeah, because of that, yeah, it's a little bit hanging. Like I know this type of character usually not favored by community, because you know, right, there's nothing that's super the best. Like Jinxie, people say like she's bad, blah 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 blah. In the end, I think he's still relatively a good character. You will not suffer in any type of content. He will not make as a dead weight. And of course, I still have my recommendation for you to pull for Brant, which is first, if you need a all-rounder character, especially in the fusion team, then Brant will be a good choice. I believe Brant can pretty much, you can put in any typical in the fusion character like Chesha, Anchor, Changli, something like that. Then yeah, I think he will be a good partner and you can consider to pull. And second, if you need a partner for DPS Changli, I think Brant can be one of the best right now, because of course buffing fusion, resonance skill, everything match with Changli, which is, I think if you want to make your DPS Changli even feels better, it will be good if you decide to pull with Brant. And third, if you may be enjoying stylish playstyle or fast-paced gameplay, then you might be enjoy Brant, because Brant is typical, like very easy for you to make a stylish Brant that I already mentioned before, and the gameplay is pretty much fast-paced. Maybe if you kinda this type of person too, then maybe you can pull for Brant. Lastly, of course, if you like the character and gameplay, feel free to pull for him. For the Brant, should you pull the signature weapon or the resonance chain? Because Brant doesn't have any confirmation regarding his weapon, and I don't want to just assume or rely on like, because Kuro can just troll us on the release. So because of that, I mostly only judge about the resonance chain one. And yeah, if you just still confused, I just want to give this key. Assuming that his weapon is energy regen or crit, then I think going for the weapon still pretty much better, just because that gives you quality of life. I already say before, right, maxing Brant quite hard. You need crit, you need energy regen in the same time, so you need a good 3-roll substat in that. So if not, it's quite hard for you to get the maximum potential of him though. So because of that, I think it's a good quality of life to choose the weapon, assuming it's like energy regen or crit damage. Yeah, then yeah, choose for weapon, because the S1 is actually not bad, but it just like increase damage. It just make him more like DPS. And because of that, I prefer for quality of life more, like easy to min-maxing compared to just more damage. So after getting the weapon, then I think you can just go with the resonance chain. So yeah, that's it regarding what should you pull in 2.1. And at the end of the day, if you ask me which one is my verdict or which one is my pick, then my answer for this 2.1, I can say I cannot choose anything, because all of them is pretty much has the same value, because all of them is technically hybrid character. So the one that very determine is what is your account progression, what character that you have. That's literally that determine the most. I will give you example. Let's say you have Spectre overbuild, then yes, getting Phoebe will be good. Or if you already have Changli, then Brant will be a good option for you. Or if you already have like Chesha, Anchor, something like that, then Changli will be good. So yeah, it just very depend on your character that you have right now. But again, if you ask me like which character that the most free-to-play friendly or good for the new player, then my answer will be Phoebe. Because Phoebe literally the team that she needs, it's only Spectre over, the first character that we ever used. So if you already build that, also like his weapon literally very accessible, the fishing weapon is very good for her. So because of that, I think he's very free to play friendly, also pretty much good for like newcomer or like comeback player, something like that. Because so it's pretty much that's it. If you like this video, feel free to hit the button, like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.